let's go ahead and create some new content. So in this case, let's call this RFP FAQ diversity. This is just going to be standard content. And what I mean by standard content, again, is just that this is going to be text or HTML. There's no file that goes along with it. This is going to be a chunk of text that I can generate out into my proposal so that I have multiple answers or multiple chunks of text together. So here's where I can put in any of the content that I'm looking for. I could copy this from a website description if I wanted to. I could go ahead and type it right in. You know, we have a strong commitment to diversity, whatever you want to say here. Clayton Smith. Clayton Smith is our made-up firm. And you can format it. So you've got the formatting bar here. You know, you can use bold and italics and some simple bullets and things like that. You can include links. So there's just your basic formatting tools that are right there. The main thing I want to point out is that beyond this title and the text that you type in here, you want to be sure to use this categories. So that's what I was talking about, your highest level categories. Maybe it's general pitch content. Maybe this one in particular, this is an RFP response, right? Questions and answers that we frequently get in RFPs, and we want to have 3 or 4 different varieties of how we might answer those questions. So in this case, I'll choose RFP responses. I could choose more than one. It helps you keep track of the status of your items too. So maybe you want to have just draft content. You need to make sure it gets reviewed or approved before you start using it. So in this case, maybe I'll just keep it as draft. And then if you have some specific usage notes, this comes in handy when you have a specific response. You know, maybe it's a pricing response, but you need to always get approval of your pricing leadership before you use a specific type of pricing response in a pitch or an RFP. This is really where you would put that. These notes are designed for marketing end users who are using this content to know, how can I use this? Make it clear when and how to use this, especially if you have multiple options. You know, maybe you have multiple diversity responses and one is a long one and one is shorter, and can just basically give some guidance here in terms of how and when you should use that. And here's where we get into this powerful tab that has all the ability to track things in multiple different ways. You know, in this case, it's not really related to a specific practice team or industry, but I might have a content owner in my firm. So maybe we have a diversity chief, and I am going to, I'll say that Joe is my diversity chief. So I can mark the person. This is really the content owner. When I go to review this in 6 months or a year, who do I need to go to in the firm to make sure that this is still an accurate description of our diversity program? So you can make a marketing person responsible for that, or you could actually track the owner within the firm who ultimately owns that content. Who are you going to go check with? Now, when I was at Orrick, we had some content about our knowledge management program. So I was the content owner of that. And our pitch and proposal team would come back to me at least once a year and say, hey, Cindy, is this still a good description? You know, is there anything new we should add? Is there anything we should take away? That's the example of a content owner. You can relate clients and people. I will show you that in a minute. And then maybe I want to have, you know, so this flexible tag structure. Mine is pretty simple. Yours could be, you know, multi-layered. It's just a free form tag section that you can use to track this content. All right, so let's go ahead and save that.